Oh,
Man, you are looking rough. Look at this here.
no,
Not
no.
shaven.
Oh,
We're doing a video. What's going on?
I know I'm supposed to look neat and everything like that, but
Yes.
it's been a hell of a long couple of days of hard fishing, late
Yeah.
nights. So, of course,
Clearly, even no voice is gone. Who you been screaming at? You're screaming about all the fish on the beach.
I've been telling people to wind. No, it's been chaos for the last couple of days. But good fishing. That's all I can say. It's
It
been
was
good, epic.
fantastic. I have been reporting on fishing media for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? I have never experienced a week like this.
Yeah, it was a knockout.
It was
Everything
an
came
absolute-
together. The weather,
I'll tell you what,
everything.
name some species. Right, I'll tell you whether we got it. Because I have seen catches like you can't believe.
Okay.
Get the first one's on top of your head.
Honeycomb,
Got,
sandy,
got,
grey shark,
got,
hammerheads,
got,
catfish rockcod,
got,
bronze bream. Come on.
got. Come on.
Come on, eeltail barbel. There has to be
Okay, that
more.
was last week.
That was
That was
last
last
week.
week. Okay, right.
Oh, no.
But we got shad. We've got bronze bream. I mean,
there's
it was ridiculous.
Diamonds.
Absolutely ridiculous.
absolute
Guys,
knockout.
welcome to the Angler News KZN Fishing Report. It's Vanessa Green, Ray Thompson. We are at the Kingfisher. The show is proudly brought to you by the Kingfisher. Now, we have got an epic week of fishing that just happened.
Yeah.
It
no,
was insane. You
knockout.
called it. We had anglers thanking you all over the place. They were thanking you all over the weekend.
No, but that was
Everywhere
because-
you fished,
Yeah, it
there was fish.
Yeah, it was a simple thing. It was the right winds coming
Yeah.
up, lining it up perfectly.
Yeah.
And you don't get 5 to 7 days of northeasterly like we had. It comes once or twice a year. I keep on telling you that. It comes
Yes.
once or twice a year. And that was
Yeah.
just the weekend that it happened to be.
This past
This week
weekend, like I
was
said,
knockout.
you know, all this reporting over to I've never experienced this amount of fishing.
And we're talking about the Durban South area.
Yeah, of course.
The North Coast guys battled a
It
little
was
bit.
a little bit quiet. No, but there was a
No, there was
little
fish.
bit
No,
of fish.
there was fish, but not the fish
This
that we got.
was
Not the,
absolutely crazy. I mean, you call the basin. The fish
Definitely.
were wild. I've
No,
got
out of
stories
control.
about the basin like I've never heard before. You've called Warner Beach.
Warner Beach, and now I was going to go and fish there.
You
because-
fished there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There was
Yeah,
fish.
and Monday.
And Monday as
And
well.
Monday, that's I got no voice left. But yeah, it was absolutely my area fired with the honeycombs and
Yes.
sandies. I knew that was gonna
Yeah.
be there.
South
I knew
Coast
that.
was absolutely insane. Adam was sending me. I got over 50 images.
Oh no, I
Just
heard.
over
I
this
heard.
weekend.
Just too far for me to come. That time of the month. Remember, I told you it was that
it
time of
is
the month.
this week, but I mean the fish was all over for everyone. We got paid in
Yeah.
fish. All right, guys. So like we said, welcome to the show. We're gonna get into this week's KZN report. It was a true knockout. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Everyone loved it. Every angler that went out and put in the
Caught
effort.
fish.
You know what? Even the guys that didn't put in effort got
Caught
fish.
fish,
I
yeah.
heard guys that were fishing for shad got diamonds.
Got diamonds. Yeah, no, that market clear area fired, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
It's
absolutely
nice to
crazy.
see the holiday makers catching fish. And the Shad have pitched up.
The shad have pitched up.
And
The
I've
shad
seen some
was-
photos of
Oh,
some giants.
Yeah, some real thunder shad.
I
out
haven't
there,
seen shad that big in a long time. And they just
Yeah.
all come because of the cold water.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that as we get into the show because we know we had, like you said, 7 days of northerly
Made
winds.
the water ice
Now
cold.
we're in the south wind. I've got a call. In fact, I've got guys, so please pay attention. Send us your questions. Every week we get in a question. Last week we spoke about the barometric pressure. This week our question is, what do we catch in the southwest wind? Right? So we're going to get into that later in the show. Right now, let's talk about what's been coming out. Now, we usually touch on Transkei. Have you
Yeah.
heard of anything, or was there just way too much action for people
No,
right here?
don't worry about the Transkei. We'll start down the south
Okay,
coast.
down the south coast.
Yeah, keep it local.
All right, fantastic.
much to
Now,
talk
there's
about.
obviously some images on the side of our screen, but guys, Adam sent us everything, Ray.
Lots of
I mean,
photos.
whoa,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fish. I mean, the whether you were targeting skates, whether you were targeting snook off the rocks,
Snook, I tell you what, there
hammerheads,
was
bronze bream, like you said, the huge shad, rockard.
Flipping awesome.
It was
Absolutely
crazy.
awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were hound sharks. There were
And some big hound sharks too.
There were.
So
I mean,
one there, 18 kilos.
well, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
some big hound sharks that came out.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of flatfish, a lot of diamonds. For that area to have that many diamonds was
Yes.
epic. I mean, it was almost like a diamond smash down there.
It was. I mean,
Yeah.
we were thinking the diamond special was going to happen up at.
Well,
up
we knew it was
But
going to happen.
you knew
Yeah.
it was definitely going to happen. Yeah, I didn't expect it to happen so
far down,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
But it was all the cold water that moved down, and yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
All right, so that was the lower South Coast. Scott Pennington, Rocky Bay. The guy's got a couple scratching species from what I've heard.
Bronze bream, and again the Shad started pitching up there, so
Yes.
they're moving from the south up.
Yeah.
And a few bronze bream have pitched up there as well. So
Right.
those edible fish are starting to come up now, which is good.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Warner Beach in Manzantoti, the whole Novo stretch, Inyoni Rocks.
Everywhere.
Gosh,
Doesn't
the
matter where you
whole-
went.
Yeah, you
Shad
called
place.
me on Friday, on Thursday. You
Yeah.
got on with fish. On Friday, day off, you got
Yeah.
fish. Right? Saturday, everyone was
Epic.
going mental with the fish out
Yeah,
there.
a lot of sandies, like I said, a lot of
Yeah.
honeycombs.
Yes.
If you threw big baits, you got a big fish.
Yeah. And
And if
there
you
were
threw a
couple-
small bait, you got big fish too. So that didn't help too much.
Exactly.
But, yeah,
there
there
were
was-
big fish out this weekend.
Everybody
and there were
got
a couple shad in between. There were a couple cob in between. But
Kingies,
kingies,
lanterns.
diamonds.
Mm.
Wow. So Warner Beach for a change was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
But it was a flat sea, cold water,
Yeah.
lovely color, all
Uh-huh.
the way up until about Sunday, and then it started getting clean.
Well, I know that because I went and fished on Sunday morning. And the water was cold. It was ice cold. It
Yeah.
was crystal clear. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, whether you took all the fish out on Saturday and left nothing for me on Sunday morning. We were on the rocks from about 5 o'clock. There must have been about 16 anglers on the rocks. A mixed bag of bait, not a single touch, not even the peckers.
Throwing small baits don't help.
No, I wasn't throwing that small for bait. And speaking of small baits and fishing finesse, the guys were out fishing the KZ and stuff, casting first round.
That's
It
right.
went quite well. There's
Small
some footage, small baits. Well, yeah, okay, they got some small fish. But it's a different, it's a different
fishing.
It's
Yeah.
a different type of
Different
fishing,
facet
different
there.
facet completely. It's all on
Yeah.
quantity versus quality
Yeah.
on that one. Right, so that was Warner Beach. Now moving down to Durban.
Durban was knockout.
Whoa.
Absolutely. If
Friday.
you were a beginner,
Yeah.
that was the place to be. If you had kids, that was where you were
Yes.
going to teach your kids how to catch a fish. It was absolutely awesome on the beachfront, flat, a lot of color.
Mhm.
It was very well protected with that northeasterly that we had.
Yes.
The sea was gorgeous. And you didn't have to throw far to get those big fish. I'm
No.
talking those 50-kilo diamonds, those sandies, stuff like
Yes.
that. So everybody that went there, everybody caught fish. Everybody had a great time. Lovely. Well done.
This was more towards, from what I've heard, the left of Moyos.
Moya North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Moya
it was great. I mean, here's one of the stories I heard from Brad, right? You know, Brad, our
Yes,
offshore
yes,
angler,
yes.
right? So he's been, guys, the offshore Kuta are crazy. And we're going to talk about the Durban Skiboard
Skiboard
Festival,
Festival, yeah.
right? That's coming through just now. But so Brad is out there fishing for diamonds. Goes down with 2 baits, comes back with 3 diamonds. How is that possible? Right? So he brings out the second diamond. He's so desperate because he says there's like 80 diamonds coming out from around him. He takes out the bait from the fish's mouth, makes another bait, throws it in, gets a third diamond. He says, guys, like we said, the guys that were fishing for shad were getting diamonds. So
Yes, that's correct.
exactly what you said. If you were just wanting to learn how to catch and non-net, right? The stuff we were
Wasn't it?
talking about for the last couple of months, this was it.
Yeah.
And you called it.
Yeah,
You were
good.
bang on the money. Well done, bud.
Good, good. Going up north.
No, before we go up north, offshore,
Offshore.
there's been a lot
Okay.
of kuta, there's been a lot of snook.
And a lot of
just-
sharks.
and
He doesn't put that in there. A lot of sharks.
There's been a lot of sharks. So,
And don't forget the tropical yellowtails.
oh yes.
albacores,
Oh yes. It's all the way from down south. There were some
South Coast,
ambers and things.
amberjacks.
Oh yes, some
Yeah.
good sizes on that.
Some big ones.
So that sets up this weekend, Ray, to look pretty decent for the Durban Skiboard Festival.
Definitely. It's going to be a lot of fish caught.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a lot of fish lost.
A lot of fish lost to the shark.
Yeah, Taxman is going to be around this weekend just in time for payday.
Of course. Yeah, end of the year. That's why. Anyway.
So, guys, don't forget this weekend, Brad and I are going to be down at the Durban Skiboard Club. It is going to be an absolute buzz going on. From Friday night is the briefing. Obviously, we're going to be on the boat getting footage, showing you guys exactly what goes on down there if you cannot make it down. But whatever you do, make sure you come down for the prize given on Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
I mean, that is a whole nother buzz altogether. Look on the website, look on the social media pages as to when the weigh-ins are. That's always exciting, right?
100%. It's always nice seeing those big fish, seeing the prizes being handed
See,
out.
I mean, we've got like, what, almost 200 boats going out, coming in. I mean, that is
Major launch.
spectacular
Yeah.
on its own.
Just looking at it as a launch is amazing. Good
So
one.
we're going to be out there, come over and say how's it. Let us know what other questions you want to know about. Now, speaking about those other questions, Southwesterly Winds.
Yes.
That's been out and about, and we've got some questions coming through as to, Okay, we know what's been going on with these northerly winds.
Yeah.
What can we target when we're going through a couple of days of south wind?
Okay, well, basically weather-wise coming up, we've got a few days of southerly. Kuta Comp is definitely a southerly on the Saturday with light rain.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Excellent.
Oh, good.
One thing about a southwesterly, it definitely turns the Kuta on.
Oh.
What it does is cleans up the water, it warms it up slightly. I promise you, Saturday, the fish are going to feed. So the guys that are on that Kuta Comp, hold on tight because you're going to get a bite.
Oh.
Rock and surf wise, it, like I said before, it makes the water clean. It needs 2 days, but it also turns the grey sharks on. That's one thing about the southwesterly, it turns the grey sharks on. But it also turns the edible fish on. It will turn the diamonds and the sandies and the skates off, but it turns the grey shark and the edible fish on. So things like your bronze bream. Shad, definitely shad. Cleaner the water, the faster the bite.
Right. What about some cob? Would you still get cob in this?
Definitely get cob, but they prefer nighttime. And they prefer colder water. They like the northeasterly. I leave the cob to a northeasterly.
So more of our rock species.
Rock species, definitely. Bronze bream, cob, lantern, stuff like that. They definitely prefer the cleaner water. Your eel-tail barbel prefers a northeasterly, colder water. But it depends how cold it gets, how cold it's cold.
Wow, that's another one, okay.
So anyway, southwesterly warms up the water and makes it clean. That's the bottom line.
Fantastic, love it. Now, moving up the north coast, guys, special thanks to Martin for giving us some footage. As you can see, we are filming in the Kingfisher Durban branch because it's raining outside right now.
100%.
But this is the footage of the north coast, so special thanks to Martin.
Good day, everyone. This is Sheffield here. Water's looking absolutely superb. What a beautiful spot here on the north coast. Yeah, so this is your ocean conditions for this week. From this side, Martin Kwacha, over and out.
Now, the rest of the north coast. Right, so I've heard there has been some bronze bream on that Salt Rock area.
There were bronze bream.
There was fireworks.
No, it wasn't. I know old Matt MacGyver got a lovely bonefish, and again, because the water basically cleaned up on Monday. So Monday, Sunday, the water cleaned up, the bonefish were feeding. He also got a lovely stumpy. So that stumpy start now. It's that time of the year where they come and spawn. And you get the bigger stumpies. So that's one of those target species that you start looking for now, this time of the year.
Fantastic.
And they are normally the biggest stumpies because they're the breeding ones.
Okay, cool.
So
Lovely.
catch one or two, put the rest back.
Of course. Right. And then apart from that, on the offshore side, there's been kuta, there's been snook. That's been the catch of the week. Huge snook.
And I tell you what, there's been so much snook around because the water's cold and clean.
And that is why the guys are getting them off the rocks as well. They come in like right nearby.
Even at Shepston, down the far south coast, they're catching them. It's unbelievable. The block at Shepston, they're catching snook. And gundus.
So the other thing that Adam was telling me about, Ray, while we were talking about the south coast and the snook that's coming out and all the other species, the common baits at this past week has been red eye, mackerel, and chukka. That's what the guys been getting most of the fish on. Is that more of the preferred baits for those non-head species?
No, bonnie. Bonnie. You can't beat a bonnie big bait.
Yeah. But we've had a lot of bonnies coming around. How's our stock of bonnies? Do we have bonnies? Plenty
bonnies, guys. There's so many bonnies out there at sea. Just go and stand and wait for one of the ski boaters to come in and beg them for a bonnie. You can get a bite.
So what are the guys on the ski boat comp going to be putting out? Bonnies?
Bonnies, guaranteed. They're putting bonnies out.
Yeah, not mackerel.
You want to catch a big kuta?
Yeah.
Put a bonnie.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful way to run off the saltwater side.
Definitely big fish.
Now onto the freshwater.
Yeah.
Bass has still been exciting, but it is expected at this time of the year. I didn't get any wild fireworks, but the carp has been on the bike.
Yes, my mates are fishing at the moment down at Inanda and Albert Falls. There's been a couple of guys fishing there. They've been there. They got 6 this morning. It hasn't been fireworks at the Nanda, but Midmar, Albert Falls, there's been quite a few carp.
And down the South Coast, we saw those images of the carp down the South Coast happening over there.
Yeah, definitely.
The fly fishing side, guys, we're going to leave that to Jan to tell us more about it. So make sure to listen to our podcast that's coming out soon. And so that is our report. Now, there were two big announcements. One is the Durban Skateboard Festival, and obviously it was alongside that was the previous week's announcement that it was my best week that I've ever reported on with fishing. However, look at our social media pages, guys. On Friday, there is some big news coming out from Angl News. We're going to make the announcement on Friday. So, like, subscribe, follow, and let us know how we're doing. And then on the comment section, let us know what questions you are after.
Yeah, definitely. And before he carries on, because he's mouthing off at bedtime, he forgot about the Zululand Vidal, St. Lucia area. He forgot about it. And I promise you.
That's why we got a partner in the show. That's why he's here.
You forgot about all those stumpies and pomponas that are coming out there, but you forgot about that.
Right.
That's been on
please
fire.
Elaborate, my friend.
Okay, there's been a lot of those southern pompona. It's the African pompona. They're the bigger ones, not the three-spotted pompona. There's been a lot coming out at St. Lucia, at the river mouth, and stumpies at night time. And again, it's a time of the year that those stumpies come in, the breeding stumpies. So if you're up to that area, those are your target species in that area, especially with the Southwesterly.
So if I'm fishing at night for the stumpies up at St. Lucia, what bait am I putting?
Sea lice.
Sea lice?
Sea lice.
Yeah.
Sea lice or chocker.
Okay.
Sea lice.
All right. Cool.
And the pompona, sea lice. So they come to feed on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have thought so. But I mean, even at night.
Even at night, well, pompona you don't really get at night time, but you definitely get the stumpies at night time.
No, sure.
100%.
All right, fantastic. Well, guys, that's our KZN fishing report for this week. I am Vanessa Green. This is Ray Thompson. Like we said, stay in touch with us. Let us know what's on your mind, what's on the lips of anglers. Send us those catches, and we will be back next week with highlights of the Durban Skateboard Festival, letting you know what our big news is about and what's your predictions.
Okay, it's a hard one. You got northeasterlies, you got southwesterlies, you got southwesterlies, and more southwesterlies. So
we spoke about what we should be targeting.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one. Again, it's going to be more your edible fish this week that you need to look at. Your rock cod, your stumpies, your pompona. Those are the fish to look forward to.
Cool. Where are we fishing?
Me, I'm fishing down South Coast.
You going south again?
Of course I'm going south again.
Well, it's south again. That looks like after my Durban Skateboard Festival work, I'm going to come and meet you down south.
Definitely. Come to Heart Attack Hill.
Guys, if there's one person you want to listen to, it's him. He called it. Every spot he called last week was epic. Yeah. Every angler that listened to him went out and got fish. And if you don't believe me, look at those images on the side of our screen. Until next week, Vanessa Green, Ray Thompson, special thanks to the Kingfisher for bringing us Angler News, the KZN report.